Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hope you had a good Friday or having a good Friday. Uh, Thank you for taking some time to come to the stream and spend a couple hours with us crazy folks here. uh, okay, there we go. Had a small hiccup with the internet connection. And again, come on, YouTube. There we go. Uh, just a reminder on the fundraiser. These are the medics that we're trying to get the truck for. Um, well, I shouldn't say trying. Thanks to the help of ATP Geopolitics, the truck's already funded. Um, they're helping the next YouTube in the next truck already. Jonathan is doing a great job over there fundraising for this and basically carrying the rest of us. But here's the guys that we are raising the truck for. This is where your donations go to. Mm.
Hello, we are soldiers and paramedics in the Alpha 2 company in the International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine. We ask for your collaboration for a closed vehicle of quick evacuation since we do not have one at the moment. Because of this, we have unfortunately lost people and wounded people which shouldn't have been in danger. We appreciate your collaboration. Slava Ukraine!
Heroes Slava! Uh, so thank you guys for getting this truck for them. Thank you, ATP Geopolitics, for making up the difference on ours and your own trucks. Just go to ours quickly, close this video. We are at $757. I know it doesn't sound like much out of a $10,000 vehicle, but Cars for Ukraine sent us some pictures to show you guys, and you may have already seen them on other channels, but I wanted to take the time to show you these pictures here. This is what $500 means in Ukraine. $500 to armor this truck. You can see the shrapnel holes in it, the window taken out, close-up view, and then the inside. Not a single hole on the inside interior of the vehicle. This is $500. This is what $500 means. 3 people's life were saved in this vehicle because of $500. So that I am proud of raising what we've raised. It means somebody's life in the future. Let me get, just so we're not showing private conversations, let me go back. Again, another Cars for Ukraine vehicle. This is now behind enemy lines, unfortunately. But again, only minor injuries. Let's see if we can get a cleaner still. You see the armor? That's what $500 puts in the vehicle. So you guys have already put the armor in the trucks for the medics. and more. So keep up the good work, guys. Thank you so much for donating. Hey there, Anna. I just wanted to give you guys a small view of, here's a picture highlighting the armor that's put in the vehicle. I just wanted to give you guys a small glimpse of what we've done, what we've accomplished. It doesn't sound like much, 757 euros, but it's people's lives. Oh, let me go through chat. Say hi to everybody. Jan Marie, first one here. Thank you very much for being here. Andrew Petri, Adam Rounds, Blue, Mitch Ashdown, thank you all for coming. The real Vladimir Putin. You know, at least I know I'm popular enough that the KGB is paying attention. Linda H. K Bell, good to see you. Oh God, I can never figure out how to pronounce this name. Ufpi. Okay, it's almost like Murphy, so Efree. Let me know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Heather Wiley, good to see you. Anna, Pyro Kurt, good to see you here. Of course, Anna just popping in for a bit to say hi. So hi back, Anna. Glad you can make it for even a little bit. Yuffie, okay. So thank you all for coming. I just wanted to give you an update on that. The overall campaign is at 87,365. Awesome amount. We're well on our way to reaching the final goal. And, well, I'm going to borrow, Mercado Media is part of the campaign he's raising. And I'm going to back it up a little bit here.
Geopolitics, and Jonathan is solid in the first place there at 35,657 euro. Again, over 3 trucks from ATP Geopolitics. Amazing. Then you got War Translated. Dimitri does excellent work on X, sharing the latest videos and updates and OSINT on X in support of Ukraine, and they're at 228 donations. He's not even on YouTube. Not even on the YouTube. He's on his X, and people on X, the Elon platform, have donated 228 times, you guys. We can't let the Elon platform out donate the YouTube. What the hell? All right, 17,548. And there we are, you guys, solid in third place out of the 33 donations. So I know we can step that number up, you guys.
I see LJ, just let me get to this video.
And you got Such a Mimus, great YouTube channel. Amazing YouTube channel, great breakdowns of war footage. 125 donations. And you got Silicon Curtain, Jonathan Fink, who's been together with ATP doing amazing streams early in the morning because the UK is ahead of us, so they do early morning streams, and they're at 73 donations and 4,000 euro. Then you got our boy Rick.
Hold on, I'll stop there. So LJ, yes, I do see you. I saw you when I started the video. I didn't want to stop to do it, but here I'm stopping anyways. So Matthew in Mercado's chat earlier, who's Cantyludin? Dang it, I wish I was there to answer him. Life is just getting in the way of being able to sit here and watch streams recently. Trying to make things happen, and I end up normally having to go back through and rewatching everybody at like 1.5 or 2 times speed. So Carl Green, first time visiting your channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Carl. Thank you for coming and checking me out. Yeah, Vlad, did you get your scooter? anyways, let Mercado finish off telling you about everybody, the standings in the fundraiser.
The Ukrainian in 6th place with the 26 donations, doing amazing work there. And Rick's doing like 18 donations or 18 different fundraisers at once. That's what Rick does. And he's able to pull it off somehow. All right. So he's doing that
Rick,
one.
the Ukrainian Energizer
Shills
Bunny.
and Dick Dawson and Commander and others. They're at in 7th, and we'll be on the Shills this weekend. So I hope you guys can tune in. I'll be making sure to get that link out there because we don't have to wake up too early for Dick streams for the Shills. Again, credit to ATP and Jonathan, but boy, it's tough for me to. I try. I got on there one time this week. I really did. I went to bed super early, but it's tough to wake up at 8:30 in the morning after staying up until 2. We stayed up actually. We played Helldivers 2 for 5.5 hours last night. I looked at my stream clock and I'm like, God dang, I didn't even think we played that much. That game, at least 5 hours of gameplay, at least. Like, you just get locked in and then it's just hard to get unlocked in on that. But I was up way too late last night. We were up until like, what, 3:30? Just Helldiving.
Thank you, Nura.
Just killing bugs. So I'll be on that platform this weekend on the Shills. And then you got Johnny FD sitting in 8th at 884 euro at 19 donations. Then you got Canty, who's a renegade, member of the Mercado Media, but also personally involved in the support of Ukraine, directly there in Kyiv now. Amazing work to Canty. And then Philip Ittner. You guys know Philip. He's sitting there in 10th out of 237 euro out of 4 donations. So thank you to Philip Ittner, who we got in at the end. I think we one of the creators had dropped, and we were like, hey, we know who can join, and Philip Ittner can join us. He's amazing. I think Stars.
So that was Merc doing the shout out for everybody this participating in this group fundraiser. I just wanted to give Merc a little bit of a shout out. If you guys knew me back then, I was on Merc's stream, watching Merc's stream every night, getting the updates about Ukraine. I had given up on my dream to go visit Ukraine and visit the castles and such in Ukraine, and Merc inspired me to go back, made me realize I had to get in shape to do it. And every night on his stream for 8 months, I was pedaling on my little machine. Bike Squad, if you guys know the Bike Squad thing. So, thank you, Merc, for doing the daily streams back then. Of course, with the election and everything else, Mercado's a reporter. He has to follow the news. So he's been covering the elections and Syria and everything else. I'm just covering Ukraine. That's where my heart takes me. So definitely wanted to give a shout out to Merc and say thanks for the kind words on stream. And go over the air alerts for right now. Donetsk has been under air alert for 8 hours, 46 minutes. Poltava, 10 hours, 14 minutes. Sumy, 12 hours, 20 minutes. Chernihiv for 10 minutes. Kyiv Oblast is just 1 minute, 50 seconds. Cherkasky for 19 minutes. Zhytomyr for 5. And Vinnytsia for 2 hours and 50 minutes. So a lot of new air alerts just popping up. It was really fun for me to watch Rick and work and realize how much he really does behind the scenes. It opened my eyes to a lot of the stuff needed to do streams like this. So Adam's Adam Rounds, you did a hell of a job trying to help out Rick. That's what I was responding to. Sorry, I should have read that first. So yeah, like Rick said, like Mercado said, it's a community effort here. We're all trying to work towards it. I'm not concerned about who's in first, whether we come in last, first, or middle ground anywhere. I'm happy. This is my first official fundraiser, and that's an amazing result for the first fundraiser, in my opinion. So let's hop into the operational information from Ukraine as of 8 a.m. December 20th, 2024, regarding the Russian invasion. As always, we start with Glory to Ukraine. The 1031st day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. The situation at the front remains difficult. The enemy, using its superiority in manpower and equipment, continues to attack our positions. Ukrainian defenders steadfastly restrain the onslaught of the occupiers, inflicting significant losses on the enemy. In total, 191 combat clashes were recorded over the past day. It's nice to see that number under 200. I'd like to see that drop even more. According to updated information, yesterday the enemy launched 3 missile strikes using 4 missiles on the positions of Ukrainian units and settlements, as well as 65 airstrikes, dropping 112 bombs from the aircraft. In addition, it carried out 5,000 artillery strikes. 162 of them were from multiple launch rocket systems, as well as using 2,234 kamikaze drones for destruction. The aggressor carried out airstrikes, in particular in the areas of Oleksandrivka, Tuspivka, Mali Prohody, Vesely, Udi, Lozova, Tvirdrohilblo. I did not say that one right, but that's a tongue twister for English tongue. Nadia, Serhivka, Grevivka, Serebryansk Forest, Virolubivka, Kramatorsk, Serebryanka, Servisk, Rezneviki, Fedorovka, Druzhba, Katrinivka, Vozyanki, Novosilka, Novodorivka, Tramika, Zelený Pol, Stepnohrisk, Lobskov. That was the last one. They should have had an and in there. Feels kind of weird just saying another name and not saying the and. As you can tell by the number of cities, there was a lot of airstrikes yesterday, including this morning, which would be after this report was produced. The airstrikes, the missile strikes in Kyiv. I believe it was Dnipro and Kivri were also hit this morning. We'll go into more of that later. Over the past day, aviation, missile troops, and artillery of the defense forces hit 9 areas of concentration of personnel, weapons, and military equipment, 4 artillery pieces at firing positions, 2 command posts, and 2 other important enemy targets. going into the individual directions. In the Kharkiv direction, the enemy did not conduct offensive operations, but actively used its aviation. I am very thankful for that. As many of you know, Bombsheller and many of you know Viper. His work is in this area. And it's nice to know that he had a day, well, not a day off, but a day with no action. Of course, Kharkiv, and they're talking about Kozachi Lopan, Lipsy, and Votchansk area. No attacks today. Amazing news. 10 attacks by the invaders occurred in the Kupiansk direction during the day. The defense forces repelled enemy assaults near Lozova, Zagdrova, and Kolonivska. Excuse me. Moving over to Kupiansk, Lozova, Zarazova, and Kolonivska. Russia's focusing their attacks in this area. And well, as you can see, no ground was made today. Actually, there was no update by Deep State today, so I won't have to do that. In the Liman direction, the enemy attacked 17 times. He tried to wedge into our defenses near Dovirdrohilblove Zeleny Gate, Tyrny, and in the Serebryansk forest. My mind just did a reset. All right. It's one of these small towns that I can't remember where it is at, but the Serebryansk forest. And let me see if I can locate Novosadova, Nevesky, Maximivka. Oh, wait. Novoihorivka. Zeleny Gay is here. I just cannot find Trevdo Klubovoy. Yeah. It's a hard one to say. Well, I'll look that one up later so I can find it next time. Hopefully, if my brain remembers. But I'm getting old and suffer from CRS. Can't remember shit. In the Service direction, the enemy conducted offensive operations near Bilovgorivka, Hurovka, and in Vrkno-Kamiansky. A total of 9 attacks were repelled. The enemy actively used aviation in this direction. So, Hirohorivka, and Bilohorivka are right here. Vrkno-Kamiansky is here. And the attacks were in these areas. 9 attacks. Unfortunately, they're keeping busy in that area. It was quiet for a long while. And it's been fairly active this past week. In the Kramatorsk direction, the occupiers attacked once. Attacked once in the Chasiv Yar area. In the Toretsk direction, the enemy carried out 12 attacks near the settlements of Toretsk and Serebryanka. Going south from Seversk, Kramatorsk, 1 attack in Chasiv Yar. We go directly south of Chasiv Yar to Toretsk, and of course assaults are happening in the city almost daily, building to building and sometimes room to room. And Serebryanka is here. Again, 12 attacks in this area, 1 up in Chasiv Yar. And the main focus of Russia at the moment, Prokrovsk direction, our defenders stopped 32 assault actions of the aggressor towards the settlements of Sukobalka, Mirolubivka, Promin, Lysivka, Desheshny, Solony, that's a new one, Novotrud, Zeleny, and Novovaslivka. Excuse me 1 second. Okay. I caught something in chat I wanted to catch up on, so talking about my time in Kiev with Rick. LJ's doing the mom jokes. Yeah, Adam Brown says every effort helps, Canty. Yeah, I'm of the opinion there's no such thing as small donations, just small minds. If you get enough people, donating $1 can make a huge difference. If we got everybody in the U.S. to donate $1, that'd be 350 million. I mean, that would be an aid package from the government level. So, yeah, there's no such thing as a small donation, just small thinking. Vlad, do you have potatoes to cook? Like a fighter, Canty did the reset. Not sure what that means. You guys are talking about religion. It's a dangerous thing to talk about in groups like this, but I'm of the opinion, and it's kind of a quote from the movie Dogma. Somebody took a great idea and turned it into a belief system. Ideas can change, beliefs, people die, people fight wars for beliefs. I'd rather follow an idea that can grow with our knowledge and understanding than follow a rigorous belief system. that's my take on it. And it is what it is. Okay. I'm not sure if that was a Michael Jackson joke or not. LJ and her and her dad jokes. Sorry for the interruption there. Let's continue. So, ADHD. Ooh, shiny. What? Huh? And of course, with my dyslexia, it takes me longer to read chat. So I apologize if I miss your chats. It's hard for me to keep up with you guys sometimes. In the Kharkiv direction, the defense forces repelled 18 Russian attacks. The occupiers were most actively trying to advance in the areas of Sansivka, Staroturny, Andriivka, Kurakovo, and Dasheny. Directly south. Oh, I didn't cover Pokrovsk. Okay, I totally got mixed up here. Pokrovsk was pretty much always the same ones, unfortunately. Mirolubivka, Promin, Lysivka, Dasheny, Novotrud, Solon, the new city here. What was the other one it mentioned? Novovaslivka. I don't see it offhand. Oh, there, because it wasn't on there. Novovaslivka. That's the one thing I don't like about the deep state map is names appearing when you zoom in or zoom out, disappearing when you zoom out. When you're looking for where an attack is happening, having to miss it because you had to zoom in and didn't to find the city they're talking about is kind of annoying. But no map is perfect. Don't take these lines as gospel either. These are the best that Deep State can do with the information they have at hand. The frontline situations change hourly, if not more often than that. So take these lines as a general reference. It could change in the next 5 minutes and be out of date. It's what it is. Already talked about Kharkiv direction, Sansivka, Staroturny, Dashny, Kurakovo, and unfortunately the pocket has been closed. There is an update I would like to find it again and go over on I posted it on my Telegram channel where I store all this stuff. The story of the Upensivka bag is over. Upensivka is here, and there was a pocket of Ukrainian troops essentially stuck behind the lines. The enemy occupied Trudov and Upensivka, taking the last place of the infamous Upensivka sack. Unfortunately, not everyone was able to get out of it, and let it be on the conscience of those responsible for this mistake until the end of their days. This is from Deep State themselves. This is their opinion piece. Don't take this as my wording. The enemy is currently regrouping in the occupied area and has also become more active on the flanks of the new potential pocket. We'll cover that in a second in the other direction. Assault actions are being carried out continuously from Staroturny in the direction of Shevchenko and Drivka section. So from Staroturny, Shevchenko, and Drivka section. So Russians are trying to push out this way. Additional pressure is present in the directions of Sonsivka, which the Muscovites have also recently completely occupied. Sonsivka here. Attacks are also being carried out in the Velinki area. Velinki, where's that at? Now, if you're going to talk about a town, make sure it's labeled on your map. Yeah, they talk about this town and it's not even labeled on the map. Sorry, my internet connection is hopping in and out. So I don't know where this area is they're talking about, but here the Katseps are actively using equipment and infantry, throwing it as close as possible to the contact line, where it disperses and tries to gain a foothold in the landings with the aim of further advancing. We wrote about one of such assaults yesterday on the canal. In this section, the goal was the same, and Drivka, which they're trying to get through to Constantinople. We hope that this time they will pay attention to the flanks that last time led to the formation of the Upensivka pocket. And the translation's never 100% for this. Everybody seems to use Google Translate, and here it's bag, here it's sack, here it's pocket. But if you go to the original Ukrainian, it's the same word. That's sack. This was translated as bag, and this was translated as pocket. So so they were saying it was towards Andriivka, trying to get to Constantinople. Oh, okay. Zelenivka. This is the town they were talking about here. Okay. So that was a personal view from the people at Deep State. I just wanted to cover that while we were here. The next situation is in this direction, the Vermix direction. The enemy carried out 23 assaults on our positions in the areas of Upensivka, Konstantinopolski, Blahodatny, Neshchishny, and Novodorivka. Konstantinopolski, Upensivka, Neshcheshny, and where did Novoandrivka go? It was Novodorivka. Okay, so Novodorivka here. This is the other pocket that we're talking that is coming up. As the Deep State says, Russians control this area. Again, I'll keep an eye on it and let you guys know on blue sky if something happens with that. In the Orhiv direction, the occupation troops stormed the positions of the defense forces once in the areas of the settlements of Novodanlivka. The defense forces are making efforts to prevent the enemy from advancing deep into Ukrainian territory and have successfully repelled 4 enemy offensive actions in the Dnieper River direction. In the Huliopol direction over the past day, the enemy did not conduct active operations. The reason I combined all those, because they all tie into each other. Huliopol and Orhiv, Novodanlivka, the assault happened in this area from Robotne. And then the Dnieper River direction, assume that the attacks happened here in the river delta. Russia is trying to get a foothold in the islands here in the delta to assert more influence over Kherson. In Volyn and Policia directions, no sign of the formation of offensive enemy groups have been detected. Ukrainian defense forces continue the operation in Kerch region. Russian aviation continues to strike at its own territory. Over the past day, Russian aircraft carried out 6 airstrikes, dropping 7 bombs. In addition, it carried out 472 artillery strikes. Ukrainian defenders repelled 60 assault actions of the invaders in Kerch yesterday. Going up to Kerch, of course, they don't tell us the locations of those assaults, but for the most part, they are happening along this road and this road here. Russia is trying really hard to recapture this city. I won't say liberated, because I believe the Ukrainians liberated the Russians in this place. One of the stories that I found was hilarious was there was Ukrainian speakers in, wasn't in Sudza, it was in one of the outlying villages. But they spoke Ukrainian, not Russian. So, Russia's complaining about the Ukrainians treating Russian speakers bad. What about Russia treating Ukrainian speakers in Russia bad? So, does that mean Ukraine has a right to this territory and it should be given over to Ukraine in the peace deal? I think so. Our soldiers inflict significant losses on occupation forces in manpower and equipment, actively undermining the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. They go into the combat losses. We'll cover that with the graphic here shortly. Join the defense forces. Razom de Paramožemo. And sorry, my throat's just having an attack today or something. Of course, and we end with glory to Ukraine. Let me grab the graphic for today. And I think we have a new record. Today, total combat losses of the enemy as of December 20th, the 1031st day of the war. Russia lost a total of 2,200 personnel. That's a record, right? Well, yeah, I wish I could go back and easily search these videos so I could have had that video of the Ukrainian speaker in Russia. But Adam Round said I seen that too. So That's what I was trying to say, Kinza, but my brain kind of like didn't want to switch over to Ukrainian and is like, wait, come on, no. I'm not sure how big a brigade is in Russia. I know how big they say it is, but that's just to milk people's paychecks from the government. That's how Russia works. Anyways, 8 tanks. 24 APVs were lost, getting close to the 20,000 mark on the armored personnel vehicles. 21,000, over 21,000 for the artillery systems, with 42 being lost today. You know, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. No MLRSs, but one of my favorite things to see Russia lose is the anti-aircraft warfare systems. These are like the S-300s, S-400s that Russia doesn't use for air defense. They use it against cities. So this is what is being launched against Kharkiv all the time. And it makes me really happy to see one of these taken out. 79 UAVs, 115 vehicles. That is an amazing number of vehicles taken out in a single day. And 6 special equipment. Okay, out of morbid curiosity, so 600 to 800 personnel. So, yeah, that's almost 3 battalions. Might as well say 3 battalions taken out in a single day. Most BTGs have 700 to 800. So 700 would be 2,100. 8,000 would be 24. So almost right in the middle of the average. So yeah, might as well say 3 battalions in a single day. Check back in with the air alerts. Kharkiv has joined the air alerts 31 minutes ago. Vinnytsia has dropped off. Mass media reports explosions in Poltava City. Sumi's almost 13 hours. And air alerts still going on in Chernihiv, Kyiv, Cherkasky, and Zhytomyr. With that, I'm going to give my voice a little bit of a rest and pull up Zelensky's speech for you.
Дорогі українці, українки, я хочу Дорогі українці, українки, я хочу подякувати.
I forgot to slow this back down. Get full screen and start it over again.
Дорогі українці, українки, я хочу подякувати всім лідерам, кожному із наших партнерів, хто сьогодні висловив підтримку Україні. Після чергового ракетного удару, балістика по Києву. Постраждали люди, на жаль, є загиблий, мої співчуття. Пошкоджені будинки, костел Святого Миколая, також є пошкодження в дипломатичних місіях. Усі вони розташовані в одній офісній будівлі. Албанія, Аргентина, Палестина, Північна Македонія, Португалія, Чорногорія. Очевидно, що таке російське божевілля не повинно сприйматися світом як щось звичне. Повсякденний терор заслуговує на постійно зростаючий тиск на терориста. Росія повинна відповідати, і навіть якщо ними керує повністю неадекватна особа, російська держава завдяки тиску на неї повинна відчути, що таке реальність і як реальність може карати міжнародних злочинців. Більші санкції проти Росії потрібні. Я хочу також подякувати всім партнерам нашої держави, які реагують на цей та інші російські більше зброї, яка може захистити від терористів. Зараз ми повернулися з Брюсселю з новими домовленостями щодо ППО. Також Німеччина вже передала додаткову систему IRIS-T. Дякую.
Go Germany.
Ми будемо відповідати Росії і на удари по всіх інших наших містах. І сьогодні росіяни здійснили черговий варварський обстріл Херсону. Загалом бачимо активізацію окупанта на Херсонському напрямку. Я хотів би подякувати підрозділам, які стоять на захисті цих наших позицій. Відбили там спроби російських рухів. І також сьогодні головком доповів мені по інших напрямках фронту. І Донеччина, і Запорізький напрямок. Окрема увага бойовим діям на Курщині. Все більше там знищених північно-корейських солдатів. Це показово, що Росія намагається видати цих північно-корейських солдатів за представників національних спільнот, які живуть на території самої Росії. Це повна зневага Москви до корінних народів і до самих корейців також. Ще одне. Сьогодні було кілька важливих зустрічей тут у Києві. Відбулось засідання урядів України та Литви. Новий литовський уряд вперше в повному складі в Україні одразу після призначення. Це чіткий пріоритет Литви.
Okay, I just wanted to stop to point this out and make this especially known. The new Lithuanian government is in Ukraine. All of it, in its entirety, went to Ukraine to meet with Zelensky. That's how you show support. Way to go, Lithuania.
Складі в Україні одразу після призначення. Це чіткий пріоритет Литви на союзництво між нашими країнами. Ми в Україні це дуже цінуємо. Говорив також сьогодні з президентом Чехії, зокрема про те, як збільшити постачання снарядів та виробництва зброї для нашої оборони. І сьогодні ж з нашою дипломатичною командою затвердили перелік нових українських послів. Я погодив більше 30 рішень, серед яких Наріман Джелял в Туреччину, Альона Гетманчук, представником України в НАТО, Андрій Мельник, представником України в ООН і інші. Ці та інші укази невдовзі, згідно із дипломатичними процедурами. Дякую всім, хто працює заради України. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. You know, when he says thank you to everybody working for Ukraine, that's you, that's me, that's Mercado, ATP Geopolitics, that's everybody out there. If you donate, raise awareness, you're working for Ukraine. And this man goes out of his way to thank you in every speech. Just wanted to say that. Make sure you guys know this man appreciates you, and I appreciate you very much. He talked about a lot of things there. The meeting with the Lithuanians, talking about the need for more shells, more artillery shells, the need for more air defense, and of course the attacks this morning in Kyiv. Why he's so adamant about needing more air defense. And helps if I'm on my channel. I'll give you guys a brief preview of what I have in store for you today. I'll stop here. 5 ballistic missiles and 40 enemy UAVs were shot down. An additional 20 UAVs failed to reach their target due to electronic warfare. Even though they were shot down, they still caused damage in Kyiv. Just because they're shot down doesn't mean fuel doesn't still burn. And these are photos from Kyiv this morning. You notice a spire in the background. I was with Rick around the corner from this during a free Azov stream. So yeah, I was not even half a mile away from this. Another angle. And yeah, it landed in the street and took out vehicles, caused damage. And unfortunately, there were injuries. And Canadian Embassy, one of the falling rockets landed just outside the Canadian Embassy. And you guys should all recognize this picture. This was posted at around noon. 9 people are known to be injured in Kyiv due to the Russian missile attack. 4 of them were hospitalized. The body of one deceased was also found. The enemy used Kinzhal and Iskander missiles, a total of 8 missiles. The footage shows the destruction of the Toronto Business Center in Kyiv, located in the center of the Holosivsky district. Opposite the damaged building after the attack is the Church of St. Nicholas. Let me see if I can have this open on the side and the video over here. So, and I'll try to read what he's saying in English as he's saying it. Jackals, creatures, inhumans, they are fuckers. I created such a beauty so that they, fucking creatures, could tear it down. He planted these trees with his own hands. Okay, that's not in the translation. I couldn't tell if he was speaking. I'm thinking it was Suljik. I'm not entirely sure. I wish I was better at Ukrainian so I could understand more. But yeah, that was his restaurant, his business. Right there. And now, nothing left of it. Kherson was also struck today. This is... Oh, let me crank up the volume so you guys get the full effect here. This was the artillery shelling before assaults trying to reach Kherson across the river. That last one was really close. So there shows where the shelling took place in Antonivka. And a few pictures of the results. Unfortunately, people lost their lives, including 2 elderly people. There was another video I would love to share with you, but unfortunately, it shows those people laying in the entry to their apartment. And not a pretty sight. Mertzi, good to see you. Have you here. Yeah, I read that story too about Ukraine not renewing the deal with Russia. It could be an interesting story. You have to realize, while this war's been going on, Russia has been paying Ukraine money to keep those gas lines flowing. If Russia can't pay to keep the gas flowing, why should Ukraine let it? So maybe that's something Trump can actually work on. Thank you, Candy. So this is Kivri. 6 people were injured, including a 15-year-old girl. 2-story residential building was partially destroyed. 3 apartment buildings were damaged and 17 private houses. In the footage, you see a dog being rescued from the rubble of a house. So even the puppers get rescued. That was Ukraine this morning. This is why Zelensky is almost begging for more air defense to be sent. It's been promised, it just hasn't been sent. Come on, Biden, get off your ass, send them. I don't care if we've manufactured new ones for ourselves yet. Let's send them. Manufacturing will catch up. So in the Zaporizhia direction, border guards blew up enemy field depots of ammunition. Oh, that's loud. You see the ammo cooking off. Next drone, next ammo depot. And they got a good one there. So just little tiny caches spread throughout this little forested area, and the defense, the border guards, taking them out. Strike UAVs continue to destroy the enemy in Kerch. Paratroopers of the 80th Brigade, the enemy will not be saved, neither by cover, nor thick armor, nor fast legs. You see the variety of stuff Ukraine is using as drop munitions. You know, from grenades to anti-tank mines to, you know, FPV drones themselves. So and just taking out equipment left, right, and center. The scary thing is that equipment is more important to the Russian leadership than the Russians themselves. Oh, God. Well, okay, a sidestep into American news. Mark Saginaw says, I see Elon approved a budget deal. Yeah, they passed something last minute. So, like, government employees will have to come back to work on Monday. Ukrainians struck a army barracks of Russia. I believe it was Belgorod. Oh no, it was in Kerch. Gifts from Santa HIMARS also arrived at the Rusak barracks and the officers' dormitory in Rosyl today.
Еще горяченькая.
So that's the barracks. I think this is the barracks and this is the officer quarters. I'm not quite sure. But it won't be repaired with government funds, says where am I translate? Anyways, the new head of Kurtz, appointed by Putin himself, is explaining to the Russian troops stationed there that there's no money. Government will not be paying for the repair of the barracks.
Школы, больницы, поликлиники, магазины, аптеки, дома ваши. Мы за счет чего это все будем восстанавливать? А у нас еще СВО продолжается. А СВО высокотехничное. Нам надо землю освободить. А у нас, извините, каждый снаряд стоит денег.
This is how much Russians care about their soldiers. Oh, go to the store, buy what you need. But no money from the government. There is no money. We did the Khodorkovsky Pocket update. Da Vinci Wolves sent out a weekly update. Or actually, it's more than that. There we go, translate. The Da Vinci Wolves were in Krasnohorivka and have been transferred. For 76 days, the fighters of the Da Vinci Wolves Battalion defended Krasnohorivka in Donetsk in extremely difficult conditions. As a result of continuous fighting, the following was destroyed: 741 occupiers, 17 units of military equipment, and 16 prisoners taken. According to the battalion commander, the unit held its fortified positions and carried out counterattacks, blocking the enemy's advance. Fierce battles were fought. The enemy was numerically superior, but the coordinated work and high morale of the fighters helped to hold the defense and inflict significant losses on the enemy. The enemy had no opportunity to break through, and part of Krasnohorivka remains under the control of Ukrainian forces. And this is some of the highlights of their time in Krasnohorivka. They've been reassigned.
This is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check of the postal order. This is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check of the postal order. This is the night mail crossing the border.
Some interesting techno there. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause on that. I was trying to skip it ahead. Now that's some crazy accuracy with these drones. Ukrainians have gotten so good at these drone drops, it's ridiculous now. And at the end, the guy surrendering to the drone because he knows he's dead otherwise. Of course, they've been redeployed to the Pokrovsk area, so I wish them luck and hope they can make a difference at their new station. Who was this from again? 46th Brigade. The video highlighting the attacks, repelling of Russian attacks near Khodorkova, and some of the fighting that goes on. Come on, Internet. So these were from the end of the last video they showed us. And now we're into the new stuff. Right into the apartment the Russians were in. Wow. Like I was saying, the accuracy they've able to achieve. Wait a second. There was a house early in the war where there was a tax, and like the owner said, "I don't care, bomb it." I think that was this house. You know, very expensive, wealthy person's house. And like the military told them that the Russians were in his house, and asked if he wanted anything particular to be done. He said, "I don't care about the house, bomb it." I think that was the house. That was like April 2022 that came out. And there's that same house in the background. This is the 46 operates in Khodorkova. When the video is over, I'll show you on the map the area. Let me back up and find that house again. Yeah, there's been so many bombs dropped, I couldn't tell if there was a pool there or not. But the trees in the peak at the front of the house, I swear it's the same house. I'll have to go back and find that video. But you know, the 46th Brigade has been working out of Kurakova, and as you can see, the line back before the invasion was right here. So this is 3 years of advance from Russia. So I'm not sure where exactly that house is. It could be in Maximilianivka or Hirovka, but it's in this area. I'll have to go back and find that video I'm thinking of and see if I could locate it. Be really interesting if that is the same house. Yeah, there's a big hole there now. Is it the pool? Is it just a bomb hole? It could be, but it's very similar. I'll have to, like I said, I'll go back and try and find that original video. Oh, Russians might be waking up again. This is a Russian recruitment center, and that's a guy setting fire to it.
Ой-ой-ой, что делает? Ну, это, видимо, истошник. Посмотрите. Да.
Somebody doesn't want to go to Ukraine.
Слушайте, ну это вообще...
Joe Rogan, you need to have this guy on your podcast. Alexander Ursky, at the weigh-in ceremony before his fight with Tyson Fury, unfurled a flag with the inscription "Free Azovstal Defenders" to remind the world about defenders of Azovstal who are still in Russian captivity. You know, Rogan was an MMA fighter. You know, you want to talk to people and give people a view and spread their word. Talk to this guy right here. If you guys follow me on Blue Sky, I made a post earlier talking about, you know, it seems America has forgot the cost of freedom. So I wanted to remind you, well, remind us, freedom has a price. Unfortunately, Ukraine is paying that price right now. The bodies of 503 fallen defenders were returned to Ukraine today. 403 from the Donetsk direction, 12 from Luhansk, 57 from Zaporizhia, and 31 fallen soldiers were returned from morgues in Russia. You know, we all know the saying, freedom isn't free, but we forget that it's not about money that they're talking about. It's blood, sweat, and tears that are paid for freedom. And unfortunately, Ukraine is paying that price right now while we worry about dollars and cents. The next time you hear somebody say, "Where I don't want my tax dollars going to Ukraine," tell them 5 years and you'll be going to over there fighting. Not because Ukraine wants us to go over there. Now, directly, I'll quote what I said. Just while people parade missiles chanting for Washington in Russia and give speeches about being ready to fight NATO in 5 years, we need to wake up before we're reminded that the cost of freedom is not in money, but in blood. Support Ukraine now or pay later. Yeah. Just, when the next time someone says, "Don't send my tax dollars to Ukraine," remind them that Russia is telling us that they're going to be ready to fight NATO in 5 years. U.S. is NATO. I'd rather send my tax dollars or my extra money, than send maybe my brother, maybe my neighbor's kid. If I had kids, maybe my kid. Money now, blood later. It's unfortunate truth of it. And for the last thing for today from Telegram is Deep State is putting out satellite images. This one is of Mariupol, and this is just down the road from, you guys were talking about the theater with the kids inside written on it. That's just down the road here, another block. They've cleared out the rubble from one section, getting ready to rebuild the houses in this area. You see next door, still have apartment buildings without a roof. This is literally Russia trying to hide the evidence of what they've done in Mariupol. This is the Russian mirror. Russia Mir, Russian peace, Russian world. This is what they want for Ukraine. Rubble and empty fields. Don't brag, Mitch. We were supposed to have a snowstorm yesterday here. Supposed to be snowing for like 8 and 10 hours. I went out to my truck and I had like a little bit of a line on my windshield wipers of snow, and that was it. I'm still looking at brown dead grass, and I'd rather be looking at snow. 1 hour 21 minutes in Chernihiv, 1 hour 13 minutes in Kyiv Oblast, 1 hour 31 minutes in Cherkasky, 11 hours 26 minutes in Poltava, and 20 minutes in Donetsk. Ukrainians are living their life basically under threat every single day. Mitch Aston, you let me down. How so? Oh, the snow. Oh, the taking the snowblower for the walk. Okay, yeah. No, you didn't let me down. My weatherman let me down. Unless you're my weatherman. Well, let me just see if anything's. Oh, we've updated to 766 euros. Let's see. Heather donated 10 euros. Thank you very much. Kathy Somar, 21 euros. Thank you so much. Again, Ozzy T, Nikki Hill, KKGG, Linda, KKGG again, Ozzy but not Ozzy T, Michael or Michelle. I've looked through and this person has donated on everybody's fundraiser. So great work. Thank you for coming to my part of it and donating here. Mitch Ashdown, thank you. I'd like to say thank me, but that's kind of wrong. And Robert Josner, thank you very much. Again, it'd be nice to reach that first 30,000. Give you guys a show. For those of you that are new here, I knew we would be struggling to get donations for the campaign. We're a small community here, but we're a dedicated community. So to kind of drive donations, I put out a challenge to myself. This is horseradish from my garden I harvested this fall. When we hit $1,000 raised, I'm going to take a spoonful and have a snack live on stream. Maybe kill a few taste buds, but one thing's for sure, I'll be able to breathe for like the next week. All set up, ready to go for when we hit that $1,000. If we continue on and get to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, for every 1,000 up to 9,000, I have agreed to do a spoonful up to that point. And if we do get the 10,000 goal, whatever is left in the jar, I'll be eating the rest of the jar on stream, live. So tell your friends, tell your relatives, you guys want to see something funny, come donate to the stream. The link's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description below. I'm a fool. I'll do anything to help Ukraine, help these guys save lives. Again, thank you so much for donating. I really appreciate the support for Ukraine that you guys show. Love you all. Thank you so much. Moving on to mainstream news. I'm not going to get into these because this just sickens me. 6 killed in strike on Russia's Kursk after deadly missile attack on Kyiv. So Ukraine has one missile hit Russia that kills 6 people. And it's front page headline news from Radio Free Europe, from Medusa, from BBC News. But, what about when Russia kills civilians pretty much every day in Ukraine? where was the frontline news of the strike on the medical center in Zaporizhia? Where was the information? Where was the news today? Where's the news today about strikes in Kyiv? Oh, it's linked in the attacks here, but they're talking about in this. Okay, I am going to click on it because so yeah, it doesn't really say where this photo's from, so I can't really speak on that. It's hard to tell with all the debris if this is Kyiv or not. But yeah, the headline, Russia says 6 people were killed in a Ukrainian strike. Yeah, that happens every day in Ukraine from Russia's strikes in Ukraine. But it happens in Russia and it's front page, headline news. Pull your head out of your ass, BBC. Get better. That's all I can say. This is amazing news to me. Trump tells Europe his administration will continue military support for Ukraine. President-elect Donald Trump has assured Europe that his administration will continue military support for Ukraine once he takes office. Financial Times, citing sources familiar with the matter, has reported by European Pravda. 3 sources familiar with the discussions with Western officials have revealed that Trump plans to continue supplying Ukraine with U.S. military aid following his inauguration. That is a load off my mind. And very welcome news. I hope he keeps his word on that. At the same time, they said Trump still believes that Ukraine should never become a NATO member and wants an immediate end to the war. That's okay. You don't have to be a NATO member. How about being a EU protectorate? Or how about signing a mutual defense treaty with Poland? Being directly in NATO, not all it's cracked up to be. One of the other stipulations that was mentioned that's not in this article is Trump wants Europe to do a 5% goal for military spending, 5% of the GDP for each country. So, a little good news mixed with kind of stuff we already knew. Oh, Adam Rounds, I hate that saying. The human safari, in my opinion, belittles what's really happening in Kherson. It's not a safari. They're not taking pictures. They are hunting civilians for training purposes. It's not a safari. That does not do justice to the people that have been killed by the Russians that are simply being used as training targets. North Korean troops in Russia not to be underestimated, ex-soldiers tell BBC. BBC basically repeating a story that was published 3 days ago by everybody else. Here we go. Russia bombards Kyiv with 8 ballistic missiles day after Putin's speech. So, here's a story about Ukraine being bombed, but the bomb and a missile being sent to Russia gets top billing. This is how mass media works. You know, this is why people see this and then they never scroll down and, you know, see this. This is how misinformation starts. Google, please change this system. Bloomberg, too little, too late. U.S. allies say Biden's strategy costs Ukraine chance of victory. I can see that. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's behind a paywall. Oh, I guess not. In the month Joe Biden has left in his office, his administration is focused on using all resources it has left to deliver military aid for Ukraine and more sanctions aimed at weakening Putin's economy. Officials in Ukraine and several allied capitals say it's a little too late. Regardless of what Biden does in his final weeks, they said Ukraine is heading towards a bitter settlement in which President Zelensky may have to leave swaths of territory in limbo in exchange for security guarantees that fall short of the NATO membership he's pleaded for. Officials who spoke on condition of anonymity said that the outcome will largely be a consequence of decisions that Biden took or failed to take over the past 2 years. Despite sending more than $90 billion in aid and arms, some allies are frustrated with Biden for stalling on key decisions to deliver more advanced weapons at crucial points in the conflict. The delay for the F-16s, the delay in using ATACMS for long range, not to mention the delay in cluster munitions for the ATACMS. There's so much stuff that Biden held back. And unfortunately, it costs Ukraine lives, and now they're saying it could be costing Ukraine territory. I wish they gave a date of that photo. The paradox, other officials said, is that the outcome for Ukraine is now similar, regardless of whether Biden or Donald Trump are in charge. Kind of a grim opinion of things. Unfortunately, it could be the case. Ukrainians mourn the loss of Victoria Roshenka and her stories. I should have known. New York Times won't let me read it. Ukraine's last M1 Abrams tanks may have engaged North Korean troops. So yeah, Russian drone hitting an M1 Abrams. The Ukrainian Army's 47th Mechanized Brigade is running low on M1 Abrams tanks, but the few tanks the brigade still has left are going out fighting, engaging Russian paratroopers and Marines, and potentially North Korean soldiers. Along the edge of the 250 square mile salient Ukrainian forces carved out of Kursk back in August, they are performing quite well. The correspondent said of the 47th Brigade said, the brigade, they have a dozen or so surviving Abrams. Ukrainian crews have praised the M1's thick protection and accurate fire controls. It's hard to say whether the 2010 vintage tanks have clashed with any of the thousands of North Korean troops. The tankers are not 100% sure the North Koreans were among the enemy units they destroyed because the machine gun cannot see the enemy's face. So literally a little clip, and that's it. If you can't tell, I'm very disgruntled with mainstream media. Yeah, we covered Kyiv already, Raptor. European allies consider deploying troops to Ukraine after the war. So I think this is going to be what happens in the future, is Ukraine's going to be an EU protectorate, or there's going to be another mutual defense treaty signed specifically between a country and Ukraine. Being part of NATO or not is not that huge of a deal. But a mutual defense pact with somebody is going to be what happens, I believe. And the other big story, Ukraine will not allow transit of Russian gas with Azyry Labal, Zelensky says, dashing Slovak hopes. Zelensky has ruled out the possibility of allowing the transit of Russian-made gas under the label of Azerbaijan. Ukraine will no longer allow the transit of... How many times you got to repeat it? The title, the secondary title, and now the beginning of the story. Won't allow gas after the end of the year. Zelensky announced this yesterday, just making news today. The ban, he added, will apply to any gas flow coming from Russia to avoid the risk of Russian gas sold to Europe under the guise of Azerbaijan-made gas. We're not going to extend the transit of 4 times. I need to put like a counter or something on the screen. We won't allow them to earn additional billions on our blood, and any country in the world that can get something cheap from Russia will eventually become dependent on Russia. Whether it happens in 1 month or 1 year, that's their policy. The statement is set to go down badly with Robert Fico, Prime Minister of Slovakia, a landlocked country that remains highly dependent on Russia's gas pipeline. Slovakia imports 3 billion cubic meters of gas from Gazprom, the Russian gas monopoly, every year, covering most of its domestic demand. A major transit agreement between Ukraine and Gazprom, from which Kyiv earns consistent revenue, is set to expire at the end of the year. The agreement accounts for half of Russia's pipeline gas exports to the EU. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I wish they had the map of it up here. But they don't. You know, it is, yes, Ukraine earns money off of it, but Russia earns money off of it too. And when you're trying to starve a country, having any influx of money into that country is detrimental to what you're trying to achieve. In the end, Russia should have seen this coming. They shouldn't have invaded Ukraine. If they're going to try and keep gas flowing through Ukraine, yeah, it kind of seems dumb. Hey, you're my major pipeline for income. Let me invade you. Oh, shit. That's all I'm going to cover for today from mainstream media. Unfortunately, headline is so true. Ukraine's waiting game for Trump. So all we can do right now is wait. Biden says he's trying to pump as much support as he can to Ukraine. He has like $5.1 billion of drawdown funds that could have been sent but hasn't been sent yet. The same thing happened with Lend-Lease. He was given a green light for Lend-Lease and just let it expire without sending a single piece of equipment. Yeah, the more I look back, hindsight 2020. Well, the only thing I can say is hopefully it isn't as bad as we fear it will be. With that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate you being here and spending your Friday night with me. I especially appreciate your support for Ukraine. If you can afford it, 10 euros to the Cars for Ukraine campaign. Let's get them all 15 vehicles by Christmas. That'd be cool to get it done in 5 days, but we may end up having to run it into January. Just get an update on the total. 87,383. 943 donations. Less than 63,000 left to go. So, great work, guys. You're welcome, Aussie T. You have a good night. Heather Wiley, thank you for coming. Good night, Linda. Kizna, Slava Ukraina. Na dobranoc, moje druži. Good night, my friends. Stay safe.
Чайка скинет